Hey guys, it's Steve Gleason with Card Overflow, and I'm here with.
Tyler Bendel.
All right, and what'd you do today?
Got top eight, sixth place in the remote regional. Um, Went 5-0-2. So technically undefeated, but not first place. So, uh, but we played some Labyrinth today.
That's awesome. Let's get right into the deck profile. Show us
Yeah.
what we got.
So got three Ariana, three Kuklok, three Stovey, three Shandrag. The combo with this, and one of these to make Muckracker and play around Ash. I went for that four times today and won every game I did. I don't know how no one thought of this sooner because that's insane. Like I actually couldn't believe that was something no one thought of until now. Um, the best ones, Lady and Lovely. Lovely is glued to your hand if you play this deck.
Yes, of course.
MVP of the day though was
Yep,
Nib.
absolutely. Me
Um,
too. I played it. I played it in my Rescue Ace deck, and I loved it every time.
it's just the best card. You can discard it with the furniture pieces, and no one's respecting it. And the Unchained matchup in this for this deck is, and I can't stress this enough, almost unplayable. You only have like if you're main decking Ice Dragon's Prison, that and maybe a couple other cards to actually play the game. And this gives you somewhat of a fighting chance because their
Yeah,
normal combos don't not play into it.
the DD thing seems impossible, right?
Yeah, it's not even just the DD thing. It's it's Soul of Rage the Blue Dog. I think that's what it is. It can when it links off with one of your guys. My guys are fiends too. That's just a free Yama on my turn.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that happened to
Yeah.
me round five, and I was like, wait a minute, that's actually absurd. Um, I had no right to win that match, and it was one of my draws. So I'm glad I was able to live with just a draw. Um, the card that tilts everybody it resolves against.
Yeah, especially me. I got gammaed on
Oh
my
yeah.
terahertz today, and it was brutal.
Oh jeez. Um, Second best card on the deck was Extrav. Um, I top decked this when I had no cards in hand or field, and drew two cards and won those games. So
Always, always
if
perfect.
Pot of Greed was a card, I'll play it. Um, Lab and Called by the Grave. This was the 40th card. I really didn't want to play it because I didn't think it was necessary. I drew Pot off of Pot once today, and I wanted to rip it so bad. Um, I wanted to play two Fenrirs in this deck, but last night um I couldn't find room for it, and I was thinking of cutting a Kuklok in this so I can play two Fenrirs. But opening this was just too important, and I'm glad I played three of it. But I actually I resolved this once all day when I was already winning the match.
I like four.
So
Four pots seems like a good number.
it definitely is a good number, like mathematically to see engine. I just I wanted Fenrir in the deck because my experience playing it before was like I want sometimes on turn one you're just still discarding cards and setting trap cards and just passing turn, and that kind of sucks because Fenrir gives you a body on the board. It's already Fenrir, which is insane. It gives you a body on the board to bounce back with Big Welcome. It gives you a discard outlet with your second Fenrir for your furniture pieces. I thought it fixed a lot of problems, but I couldn't find the room, and I refused to play anything more than 40.
It
So
makes
I
sense
don't
for this
know.
deck for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So I don't know how I'll fit it in going further, but I don't know. Uh, Trap cards, three of the best one, two of the worst one. Um, Three imperm.
Yep.
Terror of the Overroots. No one under realized you can actually use this on cards that aren't monsters, and I used it on Birth when they activate the effect, and then set a monster,
Oh
and then they
wow,
just lost.
that's brutal.
Yeah. The only thing that gives you a chance in the Unchained matchup, Ice Dragon's Prison. And then this is like kind of the weird one, quote unquote. I didn't main deck D Barrier because I didn't know what I would play against,
Right.
and I played kind of against a whole hodgepodge of stuff today, and I felt because I'm so scared of Unchained. Unchained's unwinnable. This somewhat gives you a playable, another out to have against that matchup, and D barrier just does nothing to it.
Right.
So I wanted
And
something for that.
it still has the coverage versus Pirelli, and it's more proactive instead of like reactive like D barrier is. It's like more
Yeah,
okay if you draw it going second and stuff. Yeah, no, I get it. That makes perfect sense.
exactly. And I was at no point during the day did I miss D barrier in the main deck. So I would definitely play this again and not main deck D barrier. Maybe in a bigger event I would main deck D barrier, but I'm not too sure. You want me to go to the extra deck?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
So, extra deck's all over the place because of the
Yeah, extravs
extra.
and stuff.
Three of the obvious one. Um, two Muckracker. This should be three. Never not play three. I don't own a third, so I played I played Cowboy.
Nice.
Um, I didn't make it once, and it was there in case I could needed to try to win in time. It never came up, but don't play this card. Um, Baguska, Dweller in case I can somehow cheat this out against Unchained.
Yeah,
Zeus.
I actually played Dweller too in my Rescuers deck. I did it for tier limit mostly. Tier
I
limit is
last
so tough.
Oh my God, yes. Last night I was actually between Rescue Ace and this deck, and the only reason I played another one of the reasons I played this deck was I didn't own Drop and Deleter, which makes Dweller so
Yeah,
much more viable. Like people are playing it for the Gigantic Sprite Iblylock. Like you don't need that. That just you're just playing another bad card in your extra deck and a bad card in your main or side deck that you can draw when this is all you need
yep.
to win. If you're resolving turbulence game one or turn one, you're already winning the game. But that's why I didn't play Rescue Ace.
Yeah,
Um, speaking of Ibly, Lingrivo,
right.
um,
Yep.
Dark, Anima for the weird chance I might summon a Kuklock and link it off into Anima if I'm not fiend locked.
That makes sense.
Um, never came up. The nightmares and the towers out.
Yeah, all makes sense to me.
Side deck. Um, my side deck was, I think, pretty standard. Three Droll. Um, I never resolved this card once, did I?
Yeah.
Um, two Lord. I only
Oh,
drew this in the last match, and it was the best card. It helped me Eradicator him turn one, so I was very happy to see that.
I like. I think Lord is really cool for its interactions against Unchained
Yes,
because they
that
can't
too.
pop their own things. It's so broken.
Yeah, it's this is also another reason that this card is good against that. I just wish I fucking saw it in the matchup.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
You do have to see it.
Ghost spells, two of them. One both are for the mirror match, but one of them is mainly for this card because I really
Oh,
wanted to play. Um,
that's cool.
my opinion with this deck, and I saw Ryan, you played it, and I wasn't going to play this because I thought it was just too win more. Um, but my opinion on the deck turned last night into if I'm allowed to play the game at any point, there's no way I don't have so much advantage. It's impossible. It's near impossible for my opponent to play back out, or I just win. So
Right.
if I can resolve this and banish this, um, I'll be okay. Sorry for the dog in the background. Um, but the only time I drew this and it would have done something was round six. I put just one in the deck against Kashtira. I opened both in my opening hand,
Mm.
discarded this for a furniture piece, set this, and activated Big Welcome. He ghost spelled it, and then he also cosmic to this. So I kind of like was showing him what had happened, and he's like, "Why was Ghost Spell in the deck?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry."
Yeah. Brutal.
The worst feeling. Um, and then two XYZ Encore. Sorry, I'm also like holding my dog so he doesn't
Oh,
do
nice.
anything. Two XYZ Encore. Um, just for Pearly. I never saw it. I sided it in against Cash. Never saw it. Um, Full Force Virus. This card won me round two. I played against Melfi Sprite. He didn't know what this did, and he's like, "Oh, I just lose." So that was good to hear. The other virus, the one that needs to get banned, that won me my last round, and then D barrier because it's D barrier.
No, that looks all really good. Shaggy, it seems like you're not like, what are your thoughts on fusion decks? Because it like D barrier, of course, is good for that and Eradicator too. But looking at your side deck, for me, a big concern would be if I played against like Chimera Runic or like Chimera Branded or different forms of that. Have you had a lot of testing against that?
I had a lot of testing against it. I personally myself was playing Chimera branded for the past couple of weeks. My biggest issue with that deck, um, it really loses just to hand traps, and it loses to itself more often than not. Um, so for the Chimera branded deck, if I see this in turn with Ash Blossom, I
Right.
should just win the game anyway. And I know when I was playing that deck, they were also maining cross out. So they just lose to the hand traps. If I can just see these and draw into them, um, that was what I was going for more than the D barrier because I use the second effects of Ariana a lot today.
Mm.
Way more often than I thought I've ever encountered to draw a card. Um, and very frequently was I drawing the Ash Blossoms, the Hand Traps, the cards you want to draw into. So I wasn't too concerned about that deck, especially game one when um, I don't think their end board is too insane. Um, Especially if I can do all of my plays in their end phase, because Chimera Fusion can only be activated in their main phase or in
Right.
the main phase.
Right.
If I can just go to end phase and just do all my discards and stuff, he can't do anything anyway. I wasn't concerned about getting Guardian Chimera because he's not gonna get to resolve it at all,
Right.
as
No,
far as
that
I was
makes sense.
concerned.
Okay. No, it's that's something like, because I mean, I guess it's just me. I at my locals I play against a lot of fusion decks like that, so
Yeah.
I probably overside for them maybe, but yeah.
No,
No.
don't get me wrong. Those decks are super scary when they are able to really pop off. Especially like if they open Branded Fusion and the Chimera play,
Yeah, it's
well, you're
brutal.
not winning those games.
Yeah.
Yeah. But um that was my mindset if they just went into the Chimera plays. And if they went I didn't know people were doing the Runic Chimera too much. I saw it like sneaking around, but I didn't think anybody would be too brave enough to play it today.
All right. Well, that's awesome, man. Looks like a great deck. Clearly, you did well today. So congrats again. You have any shout outs you
Thank
want
you.
to do?
Yeah, shout out to Team Wolfpack. Shout out to my buddy Darren. Shout out to my buddy Chris and Ben for helping me make the decks last night. Shout out to Alex Cancel for telling me to play this deck because I was gonna play Rescue Ace and he said just play Lab. You're probably just gonna do better. And here we are.
And there you are.
So, and shout out to the rest of the people I play test with. There's too many to name and they know who they are.
All right.
So, thank you guys so much.
All right. Thanks again. Take care.
Thank you. See ya.